Hello, and welcome to another stream of the ultimate hardcore Shiny Manectric Hunt live. My name is Ectric, and we are here in yet another stream where we will be once again seeing if we can't find ourselves a shiny Electric / Manectric. I hope you're excited for the stream. If you are and you've not yet liked the stream and subscribed to the channel, consider doing so you can catch every single one of these as they come out. But thank you so much, Vortex and Carlos, for joining the stream before it even started. Good to have you all in. And let's get this thing going. No meandering about with long intros. Let's just start searching. Luigi, welcome in as well. Good to have you in. I did it again, every time. Lurking drunk, but I'm here? Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining in. But yeah. I had a long day today, and I'm a little tired, so I figure we'll get this thing started, get going, and hopefully get some good encounters in. I woke up super early today because my wife was like, her work had like a celebratory dinner for like a few different teams that were all received an award, and one of her she was on a team that one of the teams that got the award. So she ended up we ended up going to this this dinner where they it was basically like at a museum, and they had like hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that, and it was just like kind of like a celebratory dinner thing, and so in order to make it for that, because the dinner was at like 5:30 or something like that, and usually I don't get home until well after that on a normal work day, so I had to like leave work super early to be able to get there in time for the dinner thing. So I had to get up really early, which meant I had to wake up super early and then drive into work early and then leave work early. It was just a whole hullabaloo, and so I ended up not sleeping much last night. Woke up really early, went through work and stuff like that, and then had to hung out like outside in like 90 something degree heat while and like socialized and stuff like that. So it was a long day, but it was good. It was good. Obviously it was exciting to celebrate my wife and stuff like that. But also like the food was really good. they had some really good hors d'oeuvres. Some highlights I would say were they had these like little sliders of lobster rolls. Like it was like main lobster rolls, but they were like sliders, and they were so good. They also had these like little mini beef Wellingtons, which were really, really good, and they had like a sour cream horseradish sauce or something on top of them, which was delicious. I would die out there. Yeah, I was also wearing a black dress shirt and jeans, so I wasn't exactly in breathable clothing, but it happens. And to be fair, like it was an indoor-outdoor like mixed event, so you could go inside and get AC. So it's not like we were stuck outside the entire time or anything like that. It just was that like outside was a lot quieter and less crowded, and that's also where like most of the like artwork was. So, and most of the food as well. So it was just you were incentivized to go outside, but then also incentivized to go back inside. So we kind of just did both. But yeah, they had some really, really good food. The lobster roll sliders were really good. They also had a bunch of other types of sliders, like they had like a bacon cheeseburger slider. They also had like pulled pork. They had like honey mustard chicken, and then what was the last one? Oh, it was a black bean, a vegan black bean slider, which my wife was very excited about. And then they had it was so funny. The only thing they had people like walking around with like the appetizers as well, And for a while, the only thing that I didn't end up grabbing was like the one vegetarian dish. But the reason it wasn't me being like, oh, I'm a meat eater, I'm only eating meat stuff. It was because the one vegetarian dish was like spring rolls that had avocado in it. And my stomach gets really, really messed up when I eat avocado. So it felt really awkward, like being like, yes, I'll have this. Yes, I'll have this. Yes, I'll have this. Yes, I'll have this. And then the one thing I say no to is the one like thing that has like the most vegetables in it. Look who's inside again. Went out to look for a reason to hide again. What is that? That sounds like a quote, like a lyric or something. Welcome to the stream, Airtro. Good to have you. But yeah, a lot of really good food. And I got to see some of my wife's coworkers that I don't get to see very often. So, right, Bo Burnham, thank you. I knew it was familiar. I knew it was familiar. Go. But yeah, that was really the highlight of today. Was that dinner? I kind of went into work a little earlier than usual. Well, I intended to go into work a lot earlier than usual, but because I am not a morning person, my problem is like if I were to wake up like an hour earlier than I normally do, you would think that would mean I would be, on average get to where I want to go an hour earlier. But that is not true. It ends up being closer to like 20 minutes earlier. And the reason for that is the earlier I wake up, the slower my body moves, and the more my mind gets distracted. And I just cannot get myself to physically move as fast as when I am, going later. So it's diminishing returns for waking up earlier, and I'm also hurting myself by getting less sleep. So I literally, like, I woke up at, like, I usually wake up, like, somewhere a little bit before, like, 8 or something like that. And that's already kind of early for what my body would really want. But I woke up at, like, 6:15, 6:30 today. And usually I'll get into work, like, 9:30 to, like, 9:45-ish. And today I got in, like, I think, like, 9. So I woke up an hour and a half earlier than normal, but I only got like an extra half an hour or earlier. Got there like half an hour earlier. It's so frustrating, but like that's the reason I don't like wake up super early and get into work super early. Is that it just I would have to like pull an all-nighter to be able to at a certain point to be able to get into work on time, or like on time, like early on time, not on time. I don't know. That's why I'm so excited to be working from home tomorrow. Cuts out a lot of that, a lot of the stuff that, like, makes me go slow in the morning. Don't have to worry about the commute, don't have to, like, get dressed in my, business casual clothing. I can just kind of wear what I'm wearing now. And not have to worry about it. So I'm glad that I have tomorrow to work from home. It's always nice to get a work from home day. Also, nice. 420 encounters. I gotta say, the more I stared at that Electric, the more it looked shiny, like light blue to me, and shiny. And I was like, I need to stop staring at this, or I'm also going to convince myself that it's actually shiny. Right. We got this one. 420 smoke to ganja. Exactly. I'm excited to bring back Zelda tomorrow. That'll be fun. It's been... How long has it been since the last time I streamed Tears of the Kingdom? It's gotta have been like a year and a half at this point. I think I tried one stream like in January of 2024 and had the game crash again and was just like, all right, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I can't keep trying it. So I think that was the last time I streamed that game, and I'm very excited to go back to it and not remember any of the controls or where I was in the game or what's happening in the game, and just pick up where I left off, I guess. And I probably won't do anything all that, you know, plot relevant. I'm probably just gonna, like, you know, explore around and try to get some, whatchamacallits, shrines. I think that's how I found your channel, from Choose the Kingdom. Really? Yeah, it was a while ago. Still haven't beaten the game. That one I feel really bad about not beating. Like Echoes of the King, Echoes of Wisdom, I felt like a little guilty about not finishing, but like I basically finished it, so I didn't like feel that guilty, and I knew that like the reason I was like kind of hesitant to do it for the most part was that I knew that it wouldn't take that long to finish, and it didn't feel like a full stream. So I always like can't end up coming up with like excuses in my head to not do it, or like deprioritize it in my head. But then but with Tears of the Kingdom, it was always like a, you know, technical difficulties causing the issues, but then it felt like I could have theoretically tried to fix the technical difficulties to get, like, I could have tried harder to get back into the game, or, like, be able to have the game work for me, and I just never did. So I always felt guilty, especially because, like, I feel like it's such a good game, and, like, in a weird way, I feel like I'm like, oh, it's my wife's favorite game series, like, and I'm not even, like, giving it the time of day, or giving it the effort to try and finish this game. So I always felt guilty that I had never, like, finished that series, but I'm really glad that I have the logistical means to do so. Or maybe Hogwarts Legacy. I've never played Hogwarts Legacy, so you would not have found me from that. The one thing that is disappointing about going to the dinner is that I didn't get to work out today, and I didn't work out yesterday either. So I feel like I'm on like I haven't worked out since Friday, and I'm also not going to get to work out tomorrow because I'm working from home, and then I have possibly a band concert to play in the evening. So it's going to be like going 6 days without working out, and I'm not really happy about that. But, you know, it happens. It's not going to make me, you know, fall out of the habit or anything like that. I just don't like going in that direction for an extended period of time. But, like, obviously today wasn't going to happen. But yesterday couldn't happen because, one, I thought I was going to have a 7 p.m. meeting that I had to, like, get home in time for. So I didn't, like, pack any workout clothes to change into after work. And then I got to work and that meeting was canceled. So I could have theoretically worked out yesterday, but I didn't have workout clothes. And also, like, what I usually do at work to for workout clothes is these shirts that I'm, like, these shirts that I'm wearing right now, these are, like, you know, kind of just like plain black t-shirts, and they're, you know, a bit thicker, and they I originally bought them when I was going on that Montana trip last year, as like, you know, kind of like shirts that I could like wear as like work shirts slash workout shirts. But I found that I really liked wearing them as undershirts for work as well. They worked well for that too. So basically what I'll do is when I go to work, I'll wear this as an undershirt, wear a dress shirt over this, and then I usually wear jeans. So what I do is I will change. I will take off the shirt, change from jeans into some gym shorts, and then I will switch from my like work shoes to like some sneakers, and that's usually what I do to change. Oh, and I switch to like compression shorts instead of regular boxers. That's usually what I do to change, but usually the shirt doesn't change, and I ran out of these shirts, and we hadn't done laundry because we had people visiting this past weekend. So I wore just one of my regular undershirts that wouldn't really work well for, you know, wearing it's just a shirt by itself. So that was also another thing, was I couldn't I wouldn't have been able to work out even then because I didn't have a correct shirt. Oh, Martin, welcome to the stream. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Have you heard there was a massive earthquake near Japan? Most of the Pacific is getting tsunami warnings. Yeah, I heard. I heard that it was the earthquake was in Russia. It was like 8.7 too, something crazy big. And yeah, I was seeing tsunami warnings for Hawaii. It's crazy. Hopefully everyone's okay. How are you today? A little bit tired, but good. I was saying this earlier, but I had to wake up really early because my wife was had an award dinner that I had to get to for dinner time, and that meant I had to leave work early, so I had to get into work early. So I've been up since like 6, and it is currently 11:30. Did not hear about that? Oh my god. Yeah. It was apparently it was a really big earthquake in Russia, and it's they're worried about tsunamis across the Pacific. Where the heck are all these freaking... Where are the electrics? There we are. Biggest earthquake on the planet since 2011? Dang. It's crazy. It's crazy, like, that these things can exist. Like, the Earth just decided it was going to do a little shimmy, and now people are, like, worried about their homes getting destroyed. It's like... why is that a thing? I mean, I know why it's a thing, but, like, why is that a thing? Oh, by the way, yesterday, one of my buddies ended up buying me a new game on Steam because I was waffling on whether to play it, whether to get it or not, and he really wanted to play it, so he just was like, "It's $8, I'm getting it for you." And I was like, "Oh, I can buy it myself. It's fine, but like, thank you." And we played it last night. It was pretty fun. It's called Peak. I'm pretty sure like people have been playing it online, and I'm probably late to the game, but it's called Peak, and it was a lot of fun. Basic premise is that you're playing as these like cartoonish little guys, and you board a plane, and then it immediately crashes on a deserted island, and you have to like climb to the top of the island to be able to, like, I guess theoretically go and contact society or something. My friend is feral about Peak. Yeah, yeah, it was pretty fun. I don't know, I don't know. I didn't get it as into it as I feel like my friend did. But it was fun. It was mostly just like it was a long time to like each session we played was about 40 minutes before we finally like lost. Actually, funny enough, the first two times we played, we lasted the exact same amount of time down to the second. Like both times, we lasted to 39 minutes and 18 seconds, and then the last time we did it, we lasted 39 minutes and 52 seconds. So we improved by like 40 seconds. But yeah, so like each run was like about 40 minutes, and it was fun, but it's the same like map each time. So if you screw up, it's like you're going through the same section again. Obviously, like there's different items that you can get on each run that may help you like perform better or something like that. But like it felt like punishing to like try and learn valid paths to get to the next area. Because like obviously if you don't find the right path, your character can die and you have to start over. So like my one gripe is that like once we had gotten through like the first section, like we knew what we were doing. It was just a matter of time to get through it, but it still took time, and then we had to go through that just to like go and try and figure out the second section again. So it was a bit punishing in that like I couldn't just there was like obviously no checkpoints or anything like that. But I had fun. I really enjoyed. We actually did use the like proximity chat feature of the game rather than just hanging out in a Discord call. So that was pretty funny. Especially when I decided on the last run to just speed run ahead and then sit on a high up rock and just play the bugle over and over again until they caught up. And apparently they had been looking for me and trying to figure out where the hell I was. And eventually I just heard them off in the distance, just really, really quiet go, "Oh, he's already up all the way over there." And I'm just sitting there playing a bugle and saluting. So that was fun. But yeah, my only gripe was that it was a bit punishing to have to go through the entire game each time. But it was fun. Who knows? Maybe at some point I'll play it on stream with people. Maybe I'll see if like Lumion or Minx or Chev or someone wants to play. Or a larger group. Oh, maybe I can see if Zed's interested as well. I haven't done a collab with Zed in forever. You'd definitely be the Bugle Boy on the battlefield in Civil War times? Probably. The Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B? I could do that. Do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do, yeah, do-do. He was something. Do 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 it do do. Go. By the way, thank you so much for 6 likes, everyone. I really appreciate it. Glad to have you all in. So I've been working on a new coding project recently, and I've been working on a lot of like personal coding projects recently. Like obviously I have all the changes to the TTS program that I implemented, including like the entrance themes and stuff like that. I have the code that allows me to like update all of the chat browser sources in OBS with the current stream's chat URL. And then one of the ones that I've been most recently working on is I want to create a program. Well, I want to create like a 2-part program. The first part is I want a Python script that will just go through and go through like all of my like recording files, and upload like super compressed versions of them to Google Drive automatically. Just like look through and look for all of the like recording files from like a specific series, for example. If I wanted all of the Ultimate Hardcore Shiny Manectric Hunt recording files on Google Drive in a super compressed form, it can just go through automatically. I just run the program and it looks for all of those in all of those types of files and compresses them and then posts them to a folder in Google Drive, so that I could then use a second program, which would be a desktop app, that would then allow me to play the compressed file in a really small window, and then have just like a text box that allows me to like type notes on, and have those notes timestamped along with where in the video I clicked enter, so that basically I can kind of like skim through the files and just like take notes on what happened at what point, so that I could theoretically use it for like making YouTube videos. So I want to be able to basically have like a lightweight version save file for the recording file. Ash, thank you so much for joining in for the like goal. Appreciate it. But yeah, I want a really compressed version, so it's nice and small on Google Drive, and then I would want to be able to take notes on it, and just have those like timestamped along with where in the video I pressed enter on the note, so that I can use it to theoretically like create scripts about, like, for example, the movies play Pokemon's streams. I want to turn that into a YouTube video, but I need to like take notes on what happened when, so that I can like be able to craft it into a cohesive story, rather than just having 3 VODs worth. And I want to be able to take notes on what happens when, so that I can like pull clips and such. So I feel like that could be really useful to have that kind of program. So I've been working on that, and I've been making pretty good progress on it, but I haven't been able to like test any of it yet, because I haven't. Basically, in order to post to and from Google Drive, you need to have like authentication, and I haven't been able to create that for my YouTube Gmail account. I've been able to do it on my personal account, and I've done that for other programs I've made in the past, but I have not been able to do that for my YouTube one, because I need to like have like specific like passwords that I just hadn't I don't have memorized, and I have them in like a specific storage location that I didn't have like access to when I was writing this. So basically, ladies love a man who knows how to work that Python. You know it. But yeah, that's very funny, Arjo. I like that. But yeah, it was. So I basically just today was able to get the authentication credentials, so that I can start like testing it. And now I just need to be able to like have access to the files to compress. So I'm hopefully gonna be able to test that either tomorrow or Thursday, and work on that a little bit. Notably, though, that's not what I'm going to be working on for the coding stream on Thursday. because what I'm doing in the coding stream is another project that I've been working on recently, which is using the YouTube reaction emotes to control like emulators and such. Cackling. It was a good joke. It was a good joke. And ladies love a guy who knows how to defrag their hard drive. I mean, it's just common sense. Oh, there we go. Wouldn't it be crazy if I just got a shiny today? Like, less than 500 encounters in. Yeah, you just got a shiny and you're done. Have a feeling that the shiny will show up right when you least expect it. Hopeless autistic. Or, yeah, autistic. Welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining. And yeah, it's very possible. Also, I don't know why I ran into this Yamper. I think it looked, for some reason, off in the coloring, so I was like, oh, maybe it'll be shiny. It's not. We can hope. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I feel like, especially for these, like, really long hunts, that's generally true about them showing up when you're least expecting them. Because, like, it's so easy to just kind of, like, go into autopilot mode when you're, like, sitting there with thousands of encounters. You're like, at a certain point, it's almost just, like, you know, muscle memory, and you're not even, like, thinking about the reason you're doing it. You're just kind of doing it to going through the motions, but then like it finally hits and you're like, oh wait, that's the reason I was doing that, and like this is so exciting, and you have a huge pop off and stuff like that. But I feel like that's definitely true, where it's just like, and I mean, to be fair, this might just be me and my, you know, ADHD, but I'm at a certain point I just forget that I'm even like shiny hunting. Sometimes I'm just like yapping and kind of just moving my hands to get encounter after encounter after encounter. Ectric, I've landed an actual job and starting tomorrow. Vortex, that's awesome! Congratulations! Hopefully it's one that you're excited about some of the projects you're working on. And hopefully you have a good time with it and you meet some good people. Because, you know, good coworkers goes a long way in a job. So hopefully you find some good people around you. The work is rewarding and the pay is good. But congratulations. Huh, neat. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, that one was one of the most apt because I was at the very least talking about the idea of me getting a shiny, whereas like I feel like most of the time at least for me, it's like I'm just yapping about random crap and then all of a sudden it just shows up. The collective 2020s on Ectric's Manectric Shiny Hunting logo is hilarious. Thank you. What happens to me, so maybe yeah, it's very possible. I have a feeling it'll be what happens with me. So, but yeah, I when I first decided to make this series way back in 2022, I knew that it was going to take more than 1 year, but I purposefully put in the year number so that I could do like the cross out thing. But then when it took me like 3 years to get the first shiny, it became more and more like I honestly wasn't thinking about the fact that like I could at some point have like 12 crossouts. Like depending on how long this thing goes, this could slowly go from a funny thing to like, oh, this is unreadable. So I haven't gotten to that point yet, but like it is a worry of mine now, realizing that hey, a year is not actually that long of a time to be shiny hunting at 1 in 8,000 odds. But, oh well. You got a shiny Blacephalon a few days ago. Nice. That's awesome. That's the frickin' clown dude, right? 2030 is gonna be Only even more digits. Oh god, I didn't think about that either. I'm gonna have to cross out 2 digits at some point. Oh no. I didn't even think about that part. I'm only 5 years away. At the current pace, that's like 1.5 games. What color? I know that normally the Blacephalon is like white with like the blue and the pink and like the multicolored little button things on him. But is his shiny just like those colors are different, or is like the base a different color and then like the baubles are a little bit are like adjusted a bit? Like how does his shiny work? Blue head, gotcha. That's a little lame, but that's okay. Shiny's a shiny, and having a shiny what are they called? Ultra Monster? Oh. Ultra Beast. Having a shiny Ultra Beast is dope. Couldn't think of the name. The ball is dark blue. Ah, okay. That's actually pretty cool. I'll give it that. Like dark blue. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm imagining like you know what? Let me just look it up. Because now I need to see it. Let's see. Blacephalon. Alright. So... Oh, this looks different than I remember it looking. Okay. It does look like a clown. So it's got like the stripies, and then it's got like the little baubles, and its head is like a dot matrix. And then... shiny. Oh yeah, that's pretty significantly different. I like that. It's a little tough just because like the stripy parts are similar. But yeah, that dark blue is nice. That dark blue is quite nice. The only thing I would have said wanted was for the stripy parts to be like maybe make them like more vivid, darker versions of themselves. But that's the only thing I would have done differently there. The dark blue is quite good. Oops. Certainly a phrase. The balls are blue. Yeah. Oh, I actually have a funny story about that kind of thing. Oh, there's some... Oh, there's a Joltik. Neat. This little guy is cute. Although, he's not very good. But that sometimes happens with baby Pokemon. What a way to start a story. Yeah, it happens. Okay. No, don't do that. Get away. Leave my Joltik alone. He's a perfect baby. He's very cute. He's just not very strong is all. Galvantula is decent. Little round boy. Yeah, he's a little cutie. It's just nice to be able to chill. I like my nice, comfy Pokemon games. Granted, I have been a little bit obsessed with Marvel Rivals lately, but it's nice to take a break from that every once in a while. I may be deathly afraid of spiders, but Jolt 6 is an exception. See, I like spiders for the most part. As long as they don't move too fast, and they kind of like stay in their own zone, I let them be. I don't even try and get rid of them. If my wife, you know, if my wife sees them, I have to try and let them outside and stuff like that. But for the most part, I try to just let the spiders hang out because they get rid of the bugs I truly hate, like mosquitoes and flies. So now, granted, anything super fast, super big, definitely gets skeeved out by them. Obviously, I'm generally not. Logically, I understand I'm not going to get hurt by them, but like, if anything that like moves fast like that, is just something that like is nerve-wracking. Like the asshole spiders. What are they called? House centipedes. Little like centipede-looking fucks. They you know, objectively speaking, they get rid of. They're similar to spiders in that they get rid of, you know, unwanted bugs and generally are completely harmless to humans, but they move fast and they look really fucking creepy. And that combination makes me hate them. I also had one fall on my face while I was sleeping back in college. So bit of a personal beef there. Miracle Whip or mayo? Mayo. Welcome to the stream, Thunder Colby, by the way. You ever tried hot chocolate with cheese? I don't like chocolate, so no. We're getting raided by EML. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you so much for joining. Blaze Dailies, Shane Brown, thank you so much for joining in. EML, thank you so much for the raid, my friend. I appreciate it. Is purple best flavor? No. Red is the best flavor. But thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. What are we playing today? And everyone in my chat, go check out email if you have not already. Let me pull your link because I don't think I have any mods in here. Go to channel. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Go check out EML if you have not already. Go show some love. I am subscribed. They're getting close to 10K. Go show some love. Go get them closer to 10K subs. Purple or grape, which is better? Purple or grape? I feel like purple is grape, right? Now I'm confused. This is a lot of messages. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Let me get back to the messages and catch up. Pokey Keely, thank you so much for joining. Jasmine Hernandez, Venomar, Hazu, Tumtum 201, No Boys Allowed. Hazu, I think I said your name right. Yes, I did. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, and Gabrielle, thank you so much for joining as well. Purple can also be grape, prune, or eggplant. Oh, well, I've never seen it as prune or eggplant. I feel like either of those is somehow worse than grape. But yeah, I would say red is the best flavor. How do you feel about cheese-flavored chocolate? I don't like any chocolate, so cheese-flavored or otherwise, no. I'm good. Ever had kangaroo beef jerky? I have not. I would be willing to try it, though. Cheese-flavored chocolate or grape MSG? Grape MSG, because I don't like chocolate. Asshole spiders. No. The asshole bugs are the house centipedes. They're like about this big generally. They got a bunch of legs sticking out everywhere, and they move way too fast for how big and clumsy they look. Pink is second best. It's really hit or miss for pink, for me at least. Also, thank you so much, Tanner and Tumtum, for joining, for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Hope you'll enjoy yourself while you're here. Blue or blue cheese? Blue. I don't like blue cheese. It's a bit. I have a funny story about blue cheese. Back when I was growing up, we used to have like cucumbers. Sometimes my mom would make just like sliced cucumbers with like ranch dipping sauce as like a nice healthy vegetable to have alongside a meal and stuff like that. So she made that. She cut up some cucumbers for us, and my brother and I both had one. But she ran out of ranch, and she knew that I really didn't like blue cheese, so she gave me the remainder of the ranch, but then she gave my brother blue cheese instead. But he didn't realize it was not ranch, so when he went to eat the first cucumber with blue cheese, he took a bite and literally did like a cat throw up kind of move of just like just and just like had the most visceral cartoonish reaction to eating this. He liked blue cheese. Like it was not about the fact that he didn't like the flavor. He just was so not expecting the flavor that it like he just had like a completely like guttural reaction to it. Certainly visual. Oh yeah, for sure. Pickle or cucumber? See, that's a good question. I think cucumber. I like pickles, but for the most part, I only like it like on things. Whereas cucumbers, I like it in things. I like it on things. I like it by itself. That sounded bad out of context. In dishes, on like burgers and sandwiches and stuff, and then also just by itself. I like cucumbers in more ways than I like pickles. Also, I think we could just hit 500 encounters. Let's go. Green apple suckers are the superior candy. Changed my mind. I do think green apple is a really good like Jolly Rancher flavor. That's one of my higher level ones. I always loved the watermelon ones growing up. But green apple was definitely my second favorite. Or actually, maybe what was the maybe the cherry or apple, whatever. I don't remember. I liked the green ones. Pickles are drunk cucumbers. That is actually true. Whoa. I just had like a split second where I was like, well, why is that that Electric like orange? Is it shiny? And then I was like, no, Electric doesn't have an orange shiny, and that was just the lighting of the game. But I did have like a split second of like, oh god, did I just run away from a shiny? Potatoes or yams? Potatoes 100%. I'm not a big fan of sweet potatoes or yams. When you expect ranch and get blue cheese, it is shocking. It's like at work, I have 2 cups, one with water, one with soda for caffeine. When I expect water, I get Mountain Dew. It's a shock. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I feel like in general, just having like a difference between your expectation and reality when it comes to food is like really, really bad. And it could be a really good food, but if you're like expecting it to be different, it's bad automatically. Like if you ever have like a, I'm trying to, there was an example of I had one time. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but it was something that I was expecting to be like savory, and it turned out to be really sweet. And I like on its own, I'm sure it was like perfectly fine and possibly even really, really good. But when I was going into it expecting savory and I got something really sweet, it was like so sickeningly sweet that it made me nauseous, and I had like spit it out. Like it was like bad, really, really bad. I really wish I remember exactly what it was, but I remember that sensation. My mom used to make cucumber slices with lime and salt over them. Ooh, that sounds good. I never had that before. I'll have to make that sometime. I recently just made myself a dish that my mom used to make growing up all the time with some extra eggplant I had. It basically, I remember it being like almost like a lazy eggplant parm, kind of, sort of. I remember it being like eggplant chunks that were like roasted in the oven, and it had some like onions in there, and then it was like tomato sauce, and then I remember it being like almost like a ricotta or sorry, a ricotta or mozzarella cheese on them. And it would almost be like kind of like an eggplant parm, but like instead of like, you know, almost like a lasagna type of build, it was just eggplant chunks in tomato sauce and cheese. But it turns out I was wrong, because when I asked my mom for the recipe, she was like, you literally just take eggplant chunks and an onion, you roast them in the oven for about a half an hour on a low heat, and then for the last 5 minutes that you're roasting them, add in a jar of tomato sauce, of like jarred tomato sauce, and add a little bit of like grated cheese on top, as like a when you're like put it in the bowl. And I was like, no, that can't be it. It was always so cheesy. Like I distinctly remember like having like, you know, significant amounts of cheese in it, and apparently what my mom did that she thinks might have caused me to think this was that she used to use like the 4 cheese like jarred tomato sauce. So she thinks that that cheese flavor like Mandela affected into my mind, which is very possible. But like apparently there was no cheese in it, so I made it without the cheese. But I put in a bit of, or a decent amount of grated cheese when I was actually cooking it. So there is a little bit of cheese in there. But I made it, and it was really good. Vortex, thank you so much for joining. Here's the new like goal. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, we hit our like goal already. Dang, everyone, thank you so much. We hit 15 likes. Really appreciate it. Oh, the like goal is 20. Oops. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. I munch on blue cheese at work all the time. All the other cooks are grossed out about it when I do it. Listen, if you like it, that's all that matters. I'm not going to judge people's flavor profiles because I got a weird one. I just said I don't like chocolate, so and to be clear, not allergic, just don't like it. Like, never have liked the flavor, think it smells gross. Like, I just find chocolate to be gross. I don't know why. I acknowledge that, objectively speaking, it is probably a very tasty treat. I just have never been able to experience that. I have always found it gross. So I don't eat it. Which is the only saving grace in why I'm not, like, in a documentary about someone who's, like, you know, 1,000 pounds. Because I don't actually seek out sweets. Which is, you know, my one saving grace. Coconut water tastes like a mistake. That's fair. That's fair. I'm not a huge coconut water fan either. Have a good night. Thank you. Oh, you're talking to Vortex. Chinese can only be the exclamation ones, just so you know. I don't... Is that true? I don't think that's true. Let me check real quick, because I thought that because I don't think Electric can show up in those exclamation points. Not a fan of chocolate myself, unless it's Reese's or Reese's. Oh, I hate that I just did that. I get, it's a pet peeve of mine when people call it Reese's, because it's like obviously like the name Reese, you know, somewhat common last name, and it's their cups, like Reese's cups. I don't know why I said Reese's. They don't spawn in the overworld. Well, yeah, but they don't spawn, like, they don't show up as shiny in the overworld. But they still, you can still get them as shinies. I'm pretty sure. Like they won't appear shiny when you until you encounter them, I think is what happens. What am I doing? Hold on. Can shield overworld Pokemon be shiny sword and shield? Is it asking? No, I don't want Google AI. Jesus fucking Christ. I hate that they keep trying to foist AI on me. It's so annoying. Your brother must have loved Halloween with you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was the beneficiary of my lack of chocolate enjoyment. And I head out for the night. No worries, Pokekili. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you helping with that raid. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Hopefully I'll see you around sometime. How long have you been shiny chaining? I haven't played Sword and Shield in a while. I have been shiny hunting this specific Pokemon for 513 encounters. This is our 3rd stream doing it, so it's only been maybe about a month or so. And the one before it was like multi-year. An Emerald. Got to nearly 7K encounters. Gotta head out, but hope you have a great time. Thank you so much, Jasmine. I really, really appreciate it. Might give that eggplant dish a try. Yeah, definitely. And listen, if you come back in, I talk about recipes I make fairly often. So I've actually considered doing like shorts of like me cooking random dishes and stuff like that. Just because like I do a decent amount of cooking because I cook for both my wife and I. And I'm like I do all of the cooking in the house, so I have some experience. All right. Yeah. Any Pokemon has the possibility of being shiny, even overworld ones. You just can't see that they're shiny till you fight it. That is true. Yeah. So it can be shiny. It just won't. It just has to. You just have to encounter it first, which is why I'm actually like going in and out, just walking around trying to get them to respawn. There we go. Still annoying? Yeah, for sure. There's a reason I hunt in Legends Arceus, and not and not Sword and Shield. Or I guess not as much. Sounds great. I'll keep a lookout for that. Awesome. Yeah. I hope to see you around, and have a great night. Actually, I could probably just save the other things that I cooked this week, because I did do a decent amount of cooking. I was talking about this earlier, but this past weekend, my wife and I had one of her cousins over for a visit. Her cousin and her husband came to visit, and my sister-in-law lives about like 90 minutes away from us, and because the cousin was coming in, she also decided she was going to come up and visit, and she was like, I want eggplant parm. And I was like, all right. So because my sister-in-law randomly was like, I want eggplant parm, I decided I was making eggplant parm. But the problem is, whenever I make eggplant parm, I usually will buy like a couple eggplants, and I will just slice it real thin, and then just fry all of it at once. And then I will freeze those fried eggplant slices, and then I will pull out the bag whenever I'm looking to make eggplant parm, and then I'll just use usually like 2 eggplants makes about 3 batches of eggplant parm. So the frying part takes a ton of time, but once you're done with the frying part, you can make like three eggplant parms very, very easily. Like the actual like putting together the eggplant parm is quite easy. It's really just the frying of the eggplant that takes forever. But unfortunately, I had used up the remainder of my already fried eggplant, so I had to fry more, which meant on Tuesday I spent about 3 hours frying eggplant, and the only reason it went that fast was because my wife helped with the pipelining of it. It takes forever to do. and I'm air frying this, so I'm not like throwing it in a whatchamacallit with into like a skillet with like oil or anything like that. I'm just throwing it into the air fryer, but it still takes a while. Let me go. Jesus. Jasmine, thank you so much for subscribing. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that you will enjoy yourself while you're here. But yeah, so ended up taking like 3 hours of frying eggplant. But I was able to get that done, and then you know, when it came to Saturday, when we were actually planning on having the eggplant, we went out to lunch a little bit late, like 1 o'clock. We finished up at like 2, and then our plan had been to go to like this place in Western Massachusetts that has like some sort of like Catholic. It's like some sort of Catholic site that has like a shrine or something. I don't know. I'm not all that religious. I wasn't really following the meanings of it all, but all I know is there was some Catholic stuff in Western Massachusetts that my wife's cousin wanted to go see because it's a jubilee year, which apparently like once every 25 years they like open doors in Rome, and you can use those as like ways to like absolve all sin. I don't know. It's a whole lot of Catholicism technicalities that I don't understand or even pretend to. But yeah, so the plan was to go over to Western Massachusetts to go see this thing, but unfortunately, I wasn't really accounting for the amount of driving. So it's 2 o'clock, and we're like, okay, this place is 2 hours away, and if we want to have like dinner at a even somewhat reasonable hour, like if we're getting home at 6, that means we drive 2 hours there and then immediately have to leave. Like how does that work? It doesn't, obviously. So we decided we're just gonna have a really late dinner, and we ended up leaving closer to 3 because we stopped for ice cream. We got there at like 5, hung out for like an hour, and then drove 2 hours right back. And by the way, I was doing all of the driving, so this was me driving for 4 hours after getting like 4 hours of sleep. So I was very tired when we got back to the house, and then I had to make eggplant and pasta. Luckily, I'd done all the frying earlier in the week, so it was just, you know, throw a little bit of tomato sauce on the bottom, then you put a layer of eggplant, then you put a layer of sauce, then a layer of shredded mozzarella cheese, then eggplant, sauce, mozzarella cheese, and a little bit of grated, like, I use pecorino romano, but you can use Parmesan. Romano is very similar to Parmesan. I just find it smells better. So I like the flavor better and the smell better of Romano versus Parmesan, but both work. Threw a little bit of that on top and just baked it in the oven for like 35 minutes at 375, and it worked fine. And then I just made a couple pounds of pasta because we had like a decent number of people. Glitchy Dude, welcome to the stream. But yeah, so the eggplant, actually, like making the dish itself is pretty easy. It's just getting the eggplant to a point where it's like fried and ready to be put into the like structure. That takes forever. So I did that this past week, and then yesterday I did a bunch of cooking. I obviously made that eggplant dish that my mom had made growing up. I made 2 meatloafs. Those are going to be my lunches for the week. And then I added in some like recently, whenever I'm like making something that has like ground beef in it, I will hide blended vegetables in it, so to give me some extra nutrients, because I'm bad about eating vegetables outside of that, and you're actually able to hide a decent amount in, especially in a meatloaf where you're just lathering it in ketchup. It's very easy to hide the flavor of, you know, some spinach or some carrots or whatever. So as long as you don't mind it looking very, very slightly green, it's actually a really good way to get your veggies in. So I've been doing that. So I made 2 of those, and then I made some sausage, peppers, and onions, but with the like impossible meat sausage, because my wife was vegetarian, but her favorite dish growing up was always sausage, peppers, and onions, and she was always so sad when that was like the one dish she really missed when she went vegetarian in college and stuff like that. So I, you know, a while back was like, oh, I could possibly try the fake sausage and just make sausage, peppers, and onions with that instead. And we tried it, and she really liked it. So ever since, I just do that. So I made that, and that one's actually pretty easy to make as well, which is nice. What starter did you get? Score Bunny. I wanted to say Cinderace, but that's not the baby. But yeah, so made sausage, peppers, and onions. Literally all you have to do is like chop up some peppers and some green peppers, a red pepper, and a sweet onion into strips, and then you saute them until the green pepper goes from like a vibrant, like bright green to like more of like a dull, muted green, and the red pepper goes from a red pepper to an orange pepper, and the onions start to look a little translucent, and then once all of those are like softened significantly, you just throw in some I just throw in some jarred tomato sauce, and I augment it with some like oregano, some basil, some parsley, garlic and onion powder, and some salt and pepper. Just add some extra spices and herbs into it, and then I just mix it all together and just cook it until the tomato sauce gets a little bit like thicker, and some of the liquid in the sauce cooks off. And then on the side, I make I cook the sausage just on a pan by itself, and I brown them, and then I will cut them up into like pieces, and then mix them into the sauce into the peppers and onions, and then let it cook together for a little bit so that all the flavors mix, and then you're good to go. Throw it on top of some pasta. Laurenton, welcome to the stream. Good to have you in. Everybody do the flop. That's an Asdiff reference, right? Wait, stop not running away. Stupid balloon. I had my possible meat one time. It tasted fine, but the texture was very different. Yeah. I will say the impossible meat is probably the closest. And if you do, like, especially like the impossible ground beef, that works well. The sausages, I like the flavor, like you said, the flavor's fine, but the texture's a bit off. And I haven't really done the burgers much, so I can't really speak to that. The Beyond stuff, I find is much more, okay, this is obviously plants, but it's giving you like a little bit more of like the texture. So like the smell and the taste aren't there, but the texture is a little bit more there. So for Mudkip, welcome to this. Oh shoot, I forgot to run the TTS program. You're here. I'll run it now, and you'll be able to have your theme play. Sorry about that. There we go. It should work next time you send a message. Supposed to have a surname, but I don't have one yet. Surname is like last name, right? I mean, we can come up with one if you want. How about Jacobson? Laurenton Jacobson. Just wondering where my black heart sound was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I forgot, but there you go. It played. What is a good Pokemon to be the beefy turtle? I don't know what that means. Glitched. Surname should be French. Le Jacobson? I don't know. how about Bonsoir? The water channel's turtle. It sounds like you're just saying random words in a random order. Gonna be honest. I have no idea what you're talking about. What was that? What was I talking about with the food? Oh, right, the impossible meat. The Beyond Meat I generally use for my wife because she never really liked meat all that much to begin with, so she has no problem with the fact that like things the impossible meats sometimes don't match regular meat. Like she's not looking for an imitation, she's just looking for something that has good protein and gives that kind of like that it fills the same like part of the plate that a meat would. So she's fine with that stuff. And the Beyond ones are made with avocado oil, so I can't have those because avocado bothers my stomach really badly. So I usually, whenever I'm having the Impossible stuff, I will use Impossible brand. Whereas if it's just her eating on it, I will use the Beyond stuff. And they work pretty well. She really enjoys them, so that worked. And then I tried out a new recipe for her dinners, which is why I had a bunch of eggplant in the first place. And it was actually kind of similar to what I did for the side dish that I was describing earlier. It's it's a ziti with eggplant chunks, plum tomatoes, which are basically just like it's just a tomato. It's a tomato and then you crush it and break it apart into pieces, and you let it cook, and basically add a little garlic, let it cook, and then add that on top of the pasta. Add in like roasted eggplant, and then you throw in a decent amount of ricotta cheese, and you mix that in, and it's basically just like a cheesy, tomatoey eggplant pasta sauce dish. And I don't think my wife has tried it yet, but it looked good when I made it, so we shall see. The reason Miastic is based on France, and Laurentin is French name. There you go. Call me Laurent for short. Sounds good. I will call you Laurent. How do you beat the baby turtle in the water gym? Because it's so annoying. I can't use my Pokemon against it if they just keep beating it. Which game is this? This is in Sword and Shield. Can you get a Yamper? I feel like I used Nuzzle extensively in the water gym. Sounds very good. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff for sure. And that was just this week. I'm also still eating on the chicken Alfredo that I made last week, so. Ugh. I'm so excited to work from home tomorrow. Grassy boys are good against what? That's true. What are you doing? I'm shiny hunting Electric. Oops. Dreadnought is awful. Yeah, I forget what I did. It was so long ago, and I actually didn't record it, so I can't remember. I can't go back and like force myself to remember because I was not YouTubing at that point. Actually, this game was the reason that I decided to become a YouTuber, or it was the thing that like kicked me into doing it. I've talked about this before, but I had been watching a bunch of like PokeTubers as I went into grad school and got really obsessed, especially because I was like living by myself and didn't really have hadn't really like built any community at grad school, and so I was like watching a lot of like YouTube PokeTubers and stuff like that, and really, really enjoyed their content. And I had thought about doing like YouTube stuff before, in a completely different area, more like almost educational stuff. That kind of fell through because I realized that like how much of work it is to like do educational stuff, and that I, you know, I would have to have a lot of fun to be able to like post videos like that, and I didn't think that I would long term have a lot of fun doing that, so I decided against doing it. But then realizing that like I could do gaming on YouTube, that could be a good idea. So I like was thinking about it, and then this game came out, and when I like, first of all, I binged through this game and played a ton when it first came out. And as I was like playing it, I was sitting in my living room just trying it out and stuff like that, and I started just like trying to narrate as if I was like recording or like streaming or something like that. And I was like, okay, if it's like awful and I can't think of anything to say, maybe it's not for me. If it's even like I can, you know, if it's somewhat feasible, then hey, maybe this is a thing I can do. And I found that it was like, you know, I don't think anything I said was necessarily all that interesting, but like I was at least not sitting there like I don't know what to say next, and just like having really long pauses. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can do this. Glad I just had to start. Yeah, me too. This has become a huge passion of mine, and yeah, I love being able to share something that I love doing in gaming and stuff like that, and share that with other people who also find gaming to be something of a passion of theirs, and provide entertainment, whether that be, you know, just laughs or just a calm vibes, you know, a safe place to be able to be yourself, whatever that may be for you. I'm just glad that I can provide that kind of space for people. So it's every day I'm humbled by the fact that people, anyone would decide to hang out with me as I'm, you know, bashing my head against the wall playing some game or another. I'm just grateful that people enjoy and get something out of this, and I'm able to provide that for people, and, you know, at the same time play video games. That's big for me. I have to go now. It's about hit midnight. I just need to get to work tomorrow. Understandable completely, Jasmine. Thank you so much for hanging out even longer. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope I'll see you around. You have a bot for random questions, right? Yes, I do. I don't have it on this screen for some reason. I will add it, because I do indeed have discussion bot. All right. Let's add it. Add. It's text. Add existing. Add lib combo. And then we'll just make it smaller. Make it smaller. And throw it in there. I think that should be good. Tuning into stream is a great part of my week, even if I'm lurking a lot during Arcfight. Hey, listen, I am a huge appreciator of the lurkers. Gotta be honest, you know, whenever I'm streaming, it's, you know, I have done it before, and I can do it again, of, you know, streaming to no one, or having like no interaction in chat. Like, you know, I obviously I've done it before. You know, starting off, you got it's very likely you're gonna have long bouts where you just have to fill dead air and stuff like that. But it is always so comforting to see, you know, even if it's just saying, okay, there's a certain number of people showing up as concurrent viewers that are just hanging out. It doesn't matter if you're not sending messages, just seeing that you're there, and that I'm not having to talk into the ether by myself is wonderful. Philippe, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Glad to have you here. Hope you will enjoy yourself while you're here, and Hope I'll see you around more often. Planning on Pokemon Za? Yes, absolutely. Still nervous about the upgrade to a Switch 2. I am actually playing this on a Switch 2 right now. I upgraded immediately, partially because, you know, content creation and stuff like that, and I wanted to play the new Mario Kart, but mostly because my Switch 1 has a really, really bad SD port, which made it almost impossible to play games off of an SD card. I tried doing Tears of the Kingdom off of an SD card, because otherwise I would have to only have Tears of the Kingdom on my Switch, because it's, you know, 11 point something gigs, and the max storage on a Switch is like 12. So I would always play it off of the SD card, and first of all, load times, like, sometimes load screens would take over a minute. Like, a literal minute. Of just sitting there waiting for it to load after you like warped to a place. So it was extremely slow. But also, what sometimes would happen is it would lose connection with the game for a second, which would then corrupt the file, and I would have to uninstall the game, reinstall it, and hope that nothing got damaged in the save file. Luckily, nothing ever did, but every single time that happened on stream, it meant that the stream was over, because uninstalling and then reinstalling 12 gigs on a Switch onto an SD port was a multi-hour event. So every single time that happened, I had to audible to a different game to stream, and it was always extremely stressful, worrying that the save file was going to get corrupted and I was going to lose all my progress. So I just stopped playing. But because the Switch 2 has 256 gigs of storage, I don't have to worry about that anymore. So I transferred all of my save files and my the game over to the Switch 2, and now I'm able to play it. I'm going to be streaming it tomorrow, so for the first time in like a year and a half. So that's why I got the Switch 2, mainly was like the logistical aspects of it, and the storage capabilities, but I definitely get the hesitation there. Sounds like a pain in the ass? Oh yeah, for sure. Sounds annoying. Yeah, so the reason I stopped playing Tears of the Kingdom, I've felt guilty about it ever since, but I legitimately stopped playing because I was afraid that I was going to lose my save file because it kept getting corrupted. I have an OLED, but I really wanted to play Donkey Kong. I do agree about the load times. Yeah, and I mean, like, the Switch, you know, can do a lot with how little storage and processing power it has, but like, at a certain point, you have to either archive games to be able to play new ones loaded onto the game itself, or onto the system itself, or you have to use the SD port and hope that it works well. Do you think of the Switch 2? I would say that I like the logistical upgrades. The controllers feel pretty nice. They're a bit larger and fit my hands a bit better than the Joy-Cons do. But aside from those two things, it's really exactly the same as the Switch. And I mean, this is very likely just from my uses of it versus someone else's, but like for my uses, I am really only getting increased storage and slightly better controller feel from the Switch 2 over the Switch 1, which probably isn't worth the $500 yet. I do have the new Mario Kart, but I am not one to do like competitive, and playing against computers only is so fun. I don't get a ton out of it, but I am planning on playing the new Donkey Kong, although I'll probably play it first with my wife, because apparently it's a really good two-player co-op game. So I'm gonna play that one. Obviously, the new Pokemon game coming out, I'm gonna play that one. So once we start getting like more Switch 2 games, it'll become more and more worth it to me. But for now, it's mostly just like, if you don't have to worry about storage and stuff like that, I would say probably don't bother. Or if you're like really into Mario Kart and want to try the new game, those are like the two reasons. And I guess Donkey Kong, third reason. much thought of that thing. Me watch my crafting is like a feral kitten. Fair enough. Continue Tears of the Kingdom now that you have the better Nintendo Switch. Yes, tomorrow. I'm streaming tomorrow. First time in a year and a half streaming Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow, unless something happens. But the plan is to stream it tomorrow. Doing a shiny hunt with or without the charm? Without. Also, it's sundown. Sorry I didn't say hi earlier, but welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. Good to have you in here. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I've been trying to get back, get through my backlog of, at the very least, of the Zelda games that I had outstanding, because at a certain, I kept adding more and more games to my didn't finish list, and Zelda started getting added on there multiple times, and it really was bothering me that Zelda was getting added on there multiple times, because obviously Tears of the Kingdom I didn't finish, but I also didn't finish Echoes of Wisdom, and the reason for that one was that I basically had done, let's call it 100%. Technically, I think I'm still missing some might crystals, but I had 130 of 140 might crystals, and it would have just been looking up a guide to find the last 10 or whatever. It was just gonna be an annoying grind for something that a useless collectible. But aside from that, I just had to do the final boss run, which I knew was not going to take me a full stream. So I had left myself less than a full stream's worth of content to do. So every single time I went to go stream it, I would convince myself out of doing it, just because I'd be like, oh, but then I'm gonna have to scramble to do something else for the rest of the stream, because it's only gonna take me an hour. And then I finally finished it last week, and I did in fact beat it in an hour, and then I just played GeoGuessr for the next hour in a separate stream. So it was fine, but I just kept psyching myself out with oh, this is not enough to do. So what's the point in even streaming it? I'd rather stream a game where I'm gonna be playing for the full 2 hours just doing that. Catch a catapult turtle? Welcome to the stream, Honey. No, I'm good. Should have asked, are you hatching Chinese too? No, because the way this series works is I do a hardcore nuzlocke up until I am able to get either Ectric or Manectric, and then I shiny hunt from there. But in order to do hatching and stuff, I need to go to the what's it called? The daycare center, which is right after this town, but I would need to beat the gym first, which means I would need to hardcore nuzlocke the gym, and it could risk me having to start over. Whereas if I hunt here and consider this the end, then I can just avoid having to do that gym. So we're just doing regular old encounters in the wild. Also, for hatching eggs, I wouldn't really have any way of getting a foreign ditto, because I'm not playing on my main account that's attached to my Nintendo Online account. So I wouldn't even be getting Masuda odds with it. Stream playing well. I work on sweating. Sounds good, Sundown. Thank you so much for hanging out and lurking. I appreciate it. Yeah. That's the thought process behind it, Tum Tum. I decided in my infinite wisdom that I was going to combine two of the harder play styles in Pokemon together, and then do that for every single game that Manectric or Electric exists in. Which, I am a smart person who makes smart decisions in my life. But it basically means that I have to hardcore nuzlocke about 2/3 of the games to some extent. Obviously, this one, I don't know if you'd even call it a hardcore nuzlocke. I didn't even have to get to the first gym, but I did hardcore nuzlocke up until we got to Route 4, and we did have a death, so it's not like it was a complete cakewalk. But yeah, so hardcore nuzlocke up until you get to Electric or Manectric, wherever in that game you can get it, and then you shiny hunt from there. I believe in you, Coach. Thank you so much, Tum Tum. Yeah, well, we'll see. It only took me from 2022 to 2025 to get my first shiny Manectric, so I'm sure the second one is right around the corner. Because this is, in fact, Game 2, and we did start this series back in 2022. A mere 3 years ago. Is there some kind of delay with the audio? It's possible. I don't know why. Sometimes it just does that, and it's annoying. I'm not sure if there's anything I can do about it right now. Is it a delay with my audio, like my microphone and my face, or is it a delay with the game audio and the game video? Gonna log out soon. Hope you can get it tonight. Thank you so much, Luigi. I really appreciate it. Have a great night. Sleep well, and I hope to see you around sometime soon. Delays between the game audio and the game video. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know why it does that sometimes. Is everyone else experiencing this? Because it has happened before, and I don't really know how to... let me try unloading and reloading the... There we go. Let's try that. Had to make sure I was live. How's that sound? Is it still delayed? Good on my end? Alright. Sounds so much better? There we go. Okay. Yeah, I just restarted the connection to the HDMI capture card, so I don't know why it sometimes does that. But thank you so much for letting me know, and I guess in future reference I'll try that first, if it happens again. Good to figure out a way to solve that issue, because it does it would bother me, because it would just randomly happen in some streams, and then by the time I got around to trying to debug it in the next stream or whatever, or before the next stream or whatever, it would be fine, and I'd be like, but I can confirm, multiple people confirmed that I was indeed experiencing a delay. I don't know why, but whatever. Ugh. Let's see. So I think I am probably gonna head off in a little bit. We'll probably go until around 1 in the morning for me. I am working from home tomorrow, so I could theoretically do a little bit later, but I also was up really early today, so I'm kind of tired. So I think I'm just going to try and go to the normal time that I usually end off. Or maybe we'll go until 600 encounters or something like that. Well, maybe we'll do that. Just to end off on a nice round number. But this has been a fun stream. I really appreciate everyone coming in and hanging out and such. It's been good. Also, we are only 1 like away from the like goal. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate the support. Y'all are absolutely incredible. I'm just so blown away constantly by people's support for these streams and stuff like that. Especially recently the Pokemon streams have been doing really well. And I cannot be happier or more grateful. Y'all are just incredible. Glad to be here. Yeah, I'm glad to have you. Always lovely to have someone to chat with while I'm doing tedious things like running around looking for Electrics. This guy, So I'm thinking on Thursday when I do the coding stream, the goal is to try out the YouTube live reaction emotes controlling a game code. Because I do believe that I have the code working. I have not tested it though, so we're gonna test it and debug it. Because I know for a fact that I am able to pull the live reactions from a stream, given the URL. I know that I can do that. I was able to co-opt the library that I currently use for reading chat for my TTS program, and I was able to edit that library so that it instead, or I guess in addition, also is able to pull the most recent reactions posted into the chat. And it gives you like how many of each emote was pasted in that second. And then from there, the goal is to translate that into 2 emote combos. So, for example, if you were to have like 2 hearts in a row, that would be a heart-heart combo. Whereas if it was a heart and then like a laughy face, it'd be a heart-laugh combo. Or a laughy face then a heart would be a laugh-heart combo, that kind of thing. And so each of those 2 emote combos would translate to like a different button press in a game. So, for example, we could say like heart means go up, like up 1 square, or press the up arrow once in like an emulated game. And then we could say, you know, laugh shock would mean, you know, press the left button or something like that. Like basically create controls to be able to control the game using those emote combos, so that we can eventually have it where you guys are able to use those emotes to like literally play like an entire Pokemon game, kind of like Twitch plays Pokemon type style. That is my goal, is to set. Damn it. That is my goal, is to set up the chat to be able to play games using those reactions whenever this code is running. So we're gonna see if we can't get that done. But with that, I think we are gonna end off on 600 encounters. We did not get the shiny, but you know, we're not expecting to get the shiny this early. The odds are 1 in 4096. We're not expecting within 600. That's like 1/5 odds or whatever. Or I guess no, it's even better than that. It's between 1/6 and 1/7 of the odds you'd expect. So we are gonna go on a raid though, so don't go anywhere just yet. We're gonna go show some love to another streamer, and pass on all of the love you've shown me. I really, really appreciate you coming in on this stream tonight. Thank you. I hope that you will join me on this raid. I hope you will join me in some of the streams we're going to be doing later this week, including testing out that code. On Thursday, we'll be doing some Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow. And then on Saturday, we're doing some Marvel Rivals to celebrate Ellie's birthday. All right, let's see. So our options are to do let's see. So we can either do Z-Logic doing some shiny hunting in PLA, or we can do Tropius Forest doing Kaizo Ironmon in Pokemon Heart Gold. What do you prefer? Hope to catch the stream? Yeah, looking forward to it. Shiny Hunting or Kaizo Ironmon? Which would you prefer to say? I have a feeling probably the Shiny Hunting, but we shall see. And if no one says anything, I'm just going to post the Shiny Hunting stream. That's my vote. Yeah, showing as no one has a preference, so we're shiny. There we go, perfect. We got someone to confirm what I already felt. So we're gonna go to hashtag #grade. We are gonna go show some love to ZLogic doing some shiny mega hunting shiny mega Pokemon in Pokemon Legends Arceus before the ZA launch. Oh, Child and Anubis, we're actually just ending off. I'm so sorry. But join in on this raid with us. We're going to go show some love to ZLogic. Just hit 2K subscribers, so that's awesome. Let's try and get them closer to 3K. I hope to see you over there. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. And until the next stream, I hope you have a good one. Bye.